I'm Joshua McLeod, and I'm doing today's Lent Devotional. It was by faith that Moses' parents hid him for 3 months when he was born. They saw that God had given them an unusual child, and they were not afraid to disobey the king's command. It was by faith that when Moses grew up, he refused to be called son of Pharaoh's daughter. He chose to share the oppressions of God's people instead of fleeting pleasures of sin. He thought it was better to suffer for the sake of Christ than to his own treasures of Egypt, for he was looking ahead for his great reward. It was by faith that Moses left the land of Egypt, not fearing the king's anger. He kept right on going because he kept his eyes on the one who is invisible. It was by faith that Moses commanded the people of Israel to keep the Passover and sprinkle blood over the doorsteps so that the angel of death would not kill their firstborn child. It was by faith that the people of Israel went right through the Red Sea, though they are on dry ground. But when the Egyptians tried to follow, they were all drowned. What stood out to me was he chose to share the oppressions of God's people instead of enjoying the fleeting pleasures of sin. He thought it was better to suffer for the sake of Christ than for his own treasures of Egypt, for he was looking ahead for his great reward. I think this means that Moses knew the treasure of Christ is more than all the treasures of earth, and he was the prince of Egypt, but instead he traded the unrighteousness for God's righteousness. He traded the unrighteousness for God's righteousness and eternal reward. Let's pray. Lord, thank you for this day, Lord. We love you and praise you, Lord. You gave us everything we need, Lord, and I ask that you would help us as a church and community to be more like you and want the treasure of your heart and your love instead of the treasures of the flesh and worldly things. Amen.